Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, sir and my friends. Before I start the presentations, let me introduce myself. My name is Risa Tamara Kamila Putri from 4BC class. And today, I would like to review journal article about After the Typewriter, the Screenplay in Digital Era, volume number 1, issue number 1. Okay, next. The first slide is abstract. This PowerPoint aims to contribute to contemporary debates about 1. Screenwriting as a process of developing the screen idea. 2. The ways in which formatting conventions from an earlier era of cinema may restrict innovation in screenwriting. 3. Shifting practice of screenwriting in digital era in which images and sound play a potentially more significant role. Additionally, it questions the use of terms such as blueprint to describe the relationship between the screenplay and the pro- pro- proposed film that it represents. After Typewriter, the screenplay in the digital era draws on the author's body of practice-led research as a writer and director of feature films and documentaries, as well as histories of screenwriting, film productions, comics, and the graphic art. Okay, next. Script development as a process, not as an end it itself. Screenwriting and development process aim at releasing films within specific production contexts and parameters, rather than free-floating script development programs that can so easily become ends in themselves. According to Janek Sweska, film has development initiatives such as to provide an income stream for assessors, scripts editors, program directors, administrators, and others. Presumably, while they try to get their own project up and generate activity and create the illusions that your project or screenplay is progressing. And to explain why things can't or won't happen. Many development process simply shape screenplays to pre-existing templates so that the distinctiveness of work can be gradually eroded, assessment by assessment, draft by draft. Okay, next. Beyond blueprint. The screenplay is often referred to as a blueprint for the film to come, but perhaps it is time to reconsider these terms. The blueprint comes from the cyanotype photography process in 1840 developed by John Herschel. First, the paper is cooled with a photosynthetic compound and then exposed to strong light. In this process, the paper turns Prussian blue. Early cyanotype photography, however, was widely accepted. In the 1940 and 1950, cheaper printing was replaced by digital display. The wishful thinking screen idea concentrates on only on the scenarios. The process too has only intensified with the profiling of digital technologies and the working methods and enables. In this era of digital cinema, previously discrete stages of pre-productions, production, and post-production tend to get collapsed into a single more full stage, in which images and sounds can be reworked to much a greater degree. Okay, next. Career and the screenplay. The screenplay is the record of an idea for screen works, written in highly stylized form. It is concentrated by the rules of its form on the page and is the subject of industrial norms and conventions. The scenario must be written in cuneiform 12. This can be found in the scriptwriting training manual. In a scenario is complete, long and precise, complete in every word of dialogue, also dark in every scene, and there are instructions from a cameraman. Okay, next. The personal computer and the rise and fall of Corel. One of the main reasons that Corel was able to migrate successfully from the typewriter to the first personal computers in the 1980 was that it did not require much memory. This is because query is fixed pitch font in whichever characters has the same width and therefore requires no kerning. Although perhaps even more important in not it is that packaging of Carrier with the first PC ensured that users would be able to replay the typewriter-looking documents, enabling smooth transition to the new era of the word processing and personal computing. Conventional wisdom in the film and television industry suggests the screenplay is not only a creative document, but also one that encompasses production planning, such as providing information about locations, actors, sets, props, time of day, most of all, and timing. If the usual film formatting conventions are full, then a page screenplay equals 1 minute of screen time. However, that the equation has never been as easily calculated as this convention might imply. Different genres and styles of filmmaking, as well as individual directors, preferred patterns of coverage are likely to result in a much greater range of page screen radius than the idealist 1 minute of screen time per page of screenplay. Moreover, one can't help but wonder if the environments of the equations does not nudge the screenplay towards a productions and budgeting document rather than a creative record screen time. An idea in flux and transitions, an idea on the way becoming a film. Indeed, the insistence on a single method of writing and presenting a range of screen idea across genres may primarily owe its existence to the need to eventually process a large number of speculatively written screenplay. It may be a response to the growing numbers of screenplay rather than response to the needs of development process. Qualitative improvising the screenplay. Cognitive psychologist David Parkins notes that a lively interplay between the developing work and the mind of the artist is an important factor in crafting a large writing project. Novelist Anthony Burgess, for example, describes the earlier stage of new work. First list of names, rough synopsis of chapters, and so on. Scripts never really existed as traditional formatted and presented scenarios, but working from a story outline with set list and props, there is also the inclusion of a few other elements into the mix. Next, comics and graphic novels. Paul Wells' scriptwriting in a series on basic animations focus on the role of narrative forms and concepts, image, sounds, music in the development of the screen idea. Wells' wealth of beginning points for generating audiovisual narrative include iconic image, sounds, sense memories, emotions, concepts, and the narrations of established myths and fairy tales. Similarly, structuring devices and methods of analysis include storyboards, phrases, and letters, which combine sketch and hand-drawn text and even analysis. Many of these methods are drawn from the working methods of a diverse range of writers and directors, while scriptwriting is aimed at those beginning to write and animate for animations is the opens of the approach that makes it a valuable source of ideas for screenwriters screenwriters more generally. In Comics as Literature, Rocco Farsi notes that comics of all kinds are increasingly being adapted into films. While mainstream superhero films have long drawn on comics, less well known and edgy material has been successfully adapted into high profile films to such cities in cities, and V for Vedanta as examples. Perhaps this arises from the fact that in charting the transitions in the formatting of the screenplay over the last century and more, Bond is primarily concerned with making a case for the film script as a distinct literary form, just at word format. The last is conclusions. The new technologies displace older systems with deceived sadness. Media change is an attractive, gradual process, always a mix of tradition and innovations, in which emerging and established systems interact, shift and cool with each other. So much of cinema did not begin with film, but immigrated across from earlier art form and entertainment. Digital cinema continues to transform, to adapt and reconfigure itself. So much of the current era, with its proliferation of digital technologies, returns us to the beginnings of cinema and creates space of investigates the paths that were not followed, the possibilities not explored. The processes of screenwriting and filmmaking have been spread since the early years of cinema when Thomas Harper in Hollywood's answer to Henry Ford devised his industrial system of the continuity script as a basis for pre-planned predictions. Over 90 years later, digital era offered the possibility of containing screenplay and film production in an expanded version of the screenplay. I think that's all of my presentations. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Stay healthy. See you.